Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to yet another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility on this record-breaking day here on Wednesday. I have got so many new album reviews for you guys today. I expect that many of you are going to have a hard time catching up. So hopefully you all can carve out 5 or 10 minutes for each of these videos today. A lot of new releases, a lot of really cool ones, including this one. This one caught me completely by surprise, and I will be honest. Sometimes you can't always judge an album by that first or second or sometimes even third listen, right? The band is called Iron Jinn. They are on Stickman Records. I told you guys that I got a bunch of new things in from Stickman. A great, great label. One of the many that does like kind of psych, stoner, doom stuff, right? There's so many of them. Ripple and Heavy Psych Sounds and Rise Above and so on and so forth. There's a lot of these labels. Stickman has some great, great acts on the roster. And I've been hearing a lot about this band, Iron Jinn, and that's Jinn. Because it is comprised of some interesting cats from other bands that we all have heard of before. So you got Oed Baydals, and by the way, this is a Dutch band. Oed Baydals from the Devil's Blood, also from Molasses and Death Alley. You got Wout Kempkins from Shaking Godspeed and Dini Manders. You got Bob Hogenelst, I hope I'm saying all these names right, from Birth of Joy and Molasses, and Gerben Biederman from Paw. And this is their debut full length. They've done some EPs and singles and things for Stickman Records, and this came out at the end of April this year, so this has been out a couple of months. And, automatically when I heard that it was featuring someone from the Devil's Blood, I was immediately intrigued because I like the Devil's Blood quite a bit, and I was, as many were kind of, disheartened when they kind of broke up, right? So I was eager to see what this was all about, and of course it's got this really cool kind of like Wicker Man cover, and I was like, whoa, I'm a huge fan of the film, and let's take a look at. And unfortunately, they use, and again, I get it because it goes with the kind of the whole concept of the cover and everything like that. The typeface, Sal is going to be watching this, and this is going to drive Sal crazy because, I give anybody credit who can read any of these lyrics. It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. So again, Oeds Baydals on guitars, vocals, cello, and bass. Bob Hegenaist on drums and vibraphone. Wout Kempkins on vocals and guitars. I think I mentioned an extra guy there who didn't play on the album but's in the band. So what is this all about? Well, like I mentioned before, let me show you this too because it's kind of neat. And again, for all you Wicker Man fans, there you have it, right? This, if you're familiar with the Devil's Blood, right? The Devil's Blood kind of played this kind of like occult pagan rock sort of, and this isn't all that much different, but it is. This is very much psychedelic music. I don't know any other way to say it. It's not metal. It's not prog. It's not hard rock, really. But there are heavy rockin' moments on here. This is just really interesting, different music. And I jotted down a couple of bands that kind of, because, sometimes you gotta, when stuff just sounds so different, you have to at least give some points of reference here. What I hear in spots on this album is The Doors, minus like all the organ, right? Really not much of a keyboard presence on here. There is some stuff, but it's not really that kind of band. Very early Alice Cooper, right? Like the first 3-4 Alice Cooper albums, and this early Stooges, right? There's this kind of like early punk psychedelic rock vibe going on throughout this album, and I'll be honest, the first couple times I listened to this, I was kind of like not really digging it and kind of disappointed. I'm like, I'm not really, because I guess I expected something else, or maybe I just didn't know what to expect, and I was like, it's not really all that heavy, it's not all that riffy. But then the more I listened to it, and I got caught up in these kind of like swirling, creepy arrangements, and the vocals are really well done, and just like there are moments of heaviness, there are moments of this cool kind of noodly guitar things, and there's dreamy passages, and ultimately I found I the last like two times I've listened to this, I'm like, holy cow, this is actually really, really good and really, really intriguing and totally different. I guess sometimes different takes a few listens to fully grasp, right? But then once you let it, and that's the problem I have. Like I talk to a lot of people all the time, here in the comments on the channel, email and whatnot, who are like, yeah, I listened to that album once, it didn't grab me, and I moved on. And I'm like, man, sometimes certain albums you can't grasp in one listen, right? And if you give up so easily, you may lose out on something that is going to pull you in, but it just takes a couple times. This is one of those albums for me. I'm glad that I didn't give up on this after like the second listen, where I was kind of like, geez, I'm not really sure that I'm liking this. Maybe I'm kind of, maybe it's just not for me. And then like on the third and then the fourth listen, I was like, whoa, there's some cool shit going on here, right? As far as like to give you some tracks to check out, I really like the song Relic. And that's one of the more up-tempo rockin' songs on the album. It's got this really cool chorus and this playful use of like verses and things, and the vocals are really well done. And I like the guitar work on that. You've got Lick It or Kick It, which is another good up-tempo rocker like that. But then you got like these kind of longer tracks that are very late 60s pagan folk psychedelic type things like Winding World and Soft Healers. And then for those of you who just like the droning psychedelic freakouts, they've got like a 15-minute long track which closes out the album called Cage Rage. And it's just like, what the hell is this, right? You just listen to it and it's just so creepy and unsettling, and you feel like you're like sitting there all by yourself in a forest somewhere, and it's dusk is settling in, and you're hearing all these kind of weird sounds, and you're thinking, man, I'm all alone. I don't know what any of this stuff is that's going on around me. Help, right? Very, very interesting stuff. Other cool tracks on here. Blood Moon Horizon is also really cool. There's really no bad songs on there. Truth Is Your Dagger is fun. So it's a mix of stuff. Again, it's not metal, it's not stoner, it's not prog. It's very psychedelic music. It's kind of like this pagan rock. I don't know. Other than calling it psych, heavy psych, I don't know what else to call this, because it doesn't really fit into any other bucket. But if all this sounds mildly intriguing, I would say definitely give this a try. You can check it out. Their Bandcamp is ironjinn.bandcamp.com. That's IRONJ as in John, IN as in Nancy, N as in Nancy.bandcamp.com. There you can go check out this album and any of their previous EPs and singles and things like that. Really cool stuff. Like I said, Genesis, the band, came from the Devil's Blood and a couple other bands, Molasses and whatnot, and really, really cool stuff, really different. I think a lot of people would really like this. The vocals are really well done, and like I said, the music in some spots it's jangly, in some spots it's kind of heavy and rock, and it's definitely psychedelic. It's like all things and none of them at the same time. Whatever. It's hard to describe. I've just been through 8 minutes talking about this, but I still don't feel like I fully grasp exactly what's going on here, but I like it, right? So I was prepared to give this, like I said, when I listened to this the first time or two, and I was like, all right, I got to give a review of it. I'm thinking maybe 3.5 tops. But then all of a sudden it grabbed me, and I'm like, this is a 4 out of 5 star easy. Might even be more as time goes on, because I'm just loving the different shit that's going on here. And I think it's just really refreshing to hear something that's completely out of the blue, different than what you expected. And I give them lots of props for that. So Iron Jinn, self-titled. There you go. There, might as well call this the Wicker Man album, right? Check them out. They're on Stickman Records, and visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, you got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page. So I thank you in advance for all of your support there. And we'll see you real soon here with more stuff on the channel. I don't know if you'll get another one. You may get one later today, to just make this an even more jam-packed day of new reviews. But if not, you got plenty of stuff coming up in the next couple weeks. Like I said, I've got Big Train, I've got Anubis Gate, great progressive metal band. I've got the new Eloy, I got the new Dozer, got another new Frank Zappa archival live thing from the vaults. This just came in. I haven't even opened it. Just came in yesterday. Got that. Got new Ring Van Mobius, got the new Hemina. I've got the, what else again? Elven King, Saint Damon, M Opus. I mean, all sorts of, I've got so much stuff here. It's just overwhelming. That's why I'm trying to get to as much as possible. I would really love to, by the time like August rolls around, that I'm completely caught up on my backlog. That's what I am hoping to do. I have a feeling that won't happen because, it's just the curse is real, right? And and everybody wants to have their albums reviewed here. So it's like, what are you going to do? Anyway, thanks for watching. I am Pete Pardo. We'll see you real soon. Iron Jinn is the band for this episode. Check them out. Let us know what you think. Bye-bye.